Today we're going to talk a little bit about celebrating differences. Don't know if we've got it up yet or not. My able assistant here is taking care of me. Thank you. I think I'm going to move down a little bit here. This way I can see over my shoulder the PowerPoint that's coming up. Good morning. What?
Do you want to stand to hold your papers?
No. So,
can you slide over a little bit more? Can you go that way so the light's on you? No,
The other way.
the other way, right to the center.
I'm trying to get to where I can see out the corner of my eye
All right.
the PowerPoint, so I know what slide I'm on.
You're shadowy then.
I'm shadowy. Yeah. So you notice I'm sitting in a chair today. If those of you that were here a month ago, I had some little trouble with my foot that I was talking about, and that seems to have cleared some, but now my physical form is manifesting some thought form in my right hip that it's hard for me to stand for 20 minutes. So I'm working it though. I'm helping it move through and looking at what it is that's come to manifest. So today I want to talk to you a little bit about celebrating differences. I don't know if any of the rest of you are very concerned about the way our world is manifesting right now, but it's seeming to be quite volatile. A lot of things going on. It's probably not the first time in human history, but there we go. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times, right? Anybody know that sentence? Yeah, Tale of Two Cities, Charles Dickens, the French Revolution. My belief is that we are in the midst of what I'd call the Second American Revolution. It's not one that hopefully will be a lot of violence, although there's been quite a bit of violence in the last few weeks that have been mainly about difference. But I think with the consciousness of our Creator behind us, we're in a place where we can do it without violence. And so that's what I want to talk to you a little bit about today is how do we understand difference and how do we celebrate difference? Well, what we know is that Charles Fillmore talked about difference and about what we need to be about, and said, right here and now, the great work of character building is to be done. And whoever neglects present opportunities, looking forward to a future heaven for better conditions, is pulling right away from the kingdom of heaven within himself. So the conditions in the outside world are calling us to do our deepest work, to work as deep as we can, to transform ourselves so that we can transform our world. And one of the things that's really interesting to me is we're so opposed to difference in some of our culture today, but difference is actually how the world was created. If if God didn't create difference, then none of us would be here. None of this would be here. In fact, when you look at Genesis 1, which is an allegory of how the world was created, it was created out of no difference, out of an undifferentiated whole. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. I don't know if this clicker's working.
Not really.
So that's the undifferentiated whole. There wasn't any difference between anything. And then what God did was God separated light from darkness. That was the first differentiation. And if you read through Genesis 1, all God did was differentiate. You know, there's this and there's that. There's this and this is one thing, this is not that thing. All the way down to the creation of man. So difference is how we came into being. It's the essence of who we are. It's what God created us to be. And so seeing differences is really important. I guess I'm going at the pace of the...
Do you want me to click? Look at your PowerPoint and I'll click. Okay.
So this is an example of someone who sees differences and someone who doesn't see differences, right? The driver's not seeing any difference.
And you're not seeing the difference of on and off.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh, there we go. Wait.
Yay. All right. So sometimes seeing difference keeps us safe, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So this woman in this car is seeing difference, and that's a good thing, right? He's just oblivious. Of course, you know, maybe his name's Cliff.
I denounce this.
So sometimes safety and beauty are in the eye of the beholder. So for those of you who can't see that one, maybe this is a little better.
Tell them how big that is.
Is that safety or is that beauty? I mean, is that danger or is that beauty?
Depends on what kind of snake it is.
Some
I'm gonna go with danger.
some people who are afraid of snakes say that's dangerous, right? Okay. Well, this snake happened to be about that long.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
It was?
Yeah.
So?
For people who are afraid of snakes, it doesn't matter how long it is, right? Yep. So seeing difference is how we experience beauty. If we don't see difference, we can't experience beauty. So difference brings richness to our lives. If we can't see difference, we don't experience beauty. If we don't hear difference, we don't experience music. We enjoyed Luke's playing because we heard the difference between the notes, and we heard the difference between the note and no note, between the silence. So that helped us to experience difference. If we do not feel difference in our emotions, we don't experience joy. If we don't feel difference in our body, we can't experience health. The difference between my hip being fine and my hip needing for me to sit down for this talk. I celebrate health, and so I'm moving my way back to that. And if we do not know difference, we cannot know connection. We have to separate before we can be reunited with each other. So if difference brings richness to our lives, what's happening with the way we're experiencing difference with each other? Because that seems to be where the rub is right now, is not out there looking at a beautiful flower. It's looking at each other and saying, you're beautiful. You matter. You have value. That's celebrating differences. And so the world invites us to see differences among humans as negative and scary. I mean, that's a lot of what's going on in the media right now, is labeling some group as different and then making them something scary. But our Creator invites us to see differences among humans as beautiful and valuable. So sometimes humans have both capacities, right? Both the capacity to scare us and to make us feel connected and secure. So again, some people see beauty here and some people see danger. Some people see beauty here and some people see danger. Fire is dangerous when it's not used properly. So we are dangerous when our consciousness isn't used properly. When we don't rise to the level of the seed of our Creator that was put within us, then we can be dangerous for ourselves and for other people. And so what's our job? Well, Jesus said, "Render therefore unto Caesar those things which are Caesar's, and unto God those things that are God's." This is our way of stepping into our own difference within ourselves. There's a difference within each one of us. There's part of us that is human and part of us that is spiritual. Part of us in the material world, part of us in the spiritual world. And Jesus said, give to whichever one it belongs to. So the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary has a great section on what Caesar means in the Bible. And so I put it all up there. I highlighted what I'd like to share with you. In the individual consciousness, rulership implies the joint activity of reason and will. Caesar, the Roman emperor, therefore refers to the personal self's ruling through reason and will, unmodified by spiritual love, mercy, and justice. So Caesar is that human part of us, that base part of us. And then down in the second paragraph in red, we even must keep harmony in the unenlightened human will, that's the Caesar part of us, until the spiritual grows wise enough, loving enough, and strong enough in our consciousness to take its rightful dominion throughout our entire being. So that's the work that Charles Fillmore was talking about, is that working on your character development of having your spiritual being take charge over your human being. And then the last part of this, that which is but a symbol of the true substance, the outer reasoning husk of the sensate thought of life and its resources, goes to Caesar. The real substance of life, love, understanding, and truth goes to build up and sustain the spiritual consciousness in mind and body. So that's our job on the inside. That's the difference that we have to learn to differentiate. When I see someone and I'm scared of them, is that Caesar or is that God? That's Caesar. So how can I train myself to rise to the level of being in that God consciousness, whoever I meet, whenever I meet him? So Jesus told us that you can't serve both. You got to choose. You're not necessarily going to be perfect at one or the other, but you've got to choose one and get more and more into that space. You can't serve God and mammon. You have to pick one or the other. Mammon in the Greek means riches or wealth. So the physical manifestation of the world. We've got to choose. And the more we choose to live into our spiritual being, the more we can celebrate differences. So to kind of summarize that, there's an undeveloped spiritual consciousness within us. There's a developed spiritual consciousness within us. And there's lots of different names for them. Caesar is undeveloped. God is developed in Jesus' words. Adam consciousness is what Charles Fillmore called it. That base part of who we are as humans. Because in Genesis 1, the verse says that God made man in his likeness. So that's our seed. That's what's planted within us, is that seed of God consciousness, or as Charles Fillmore calls it, spiritual consciousness. And we've talked before about Jesus saying, be of the world, but not in the world. So undeveloped is of the world. Developed is not of the world. In the book I'm working on, I call undeveloped dominator consciousness. I believe we're at the end of the epoch of dominator consciousness, and that's why there's so much disruption right now. We're about to break into a new age of divine consciousness, where we all recognize the divinity of each other. So Jesus also gave us a way to do this. It's real simple. Love your enemies. Bless them that curse you. Do good to them that hate you. And pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you. That's our job. That's what our way shower said. And he, at the end of this quote, he said, it's easy to love people that love you, right? The work comes loving people who don't love you, who think that you're wrong or think that, you're crazy. Those are the people that we are in the process of learning to love through the Unity teachings and through our time together. So I want to do a little practical thing before I wrap up today. I'd like for everybody to stand up and turn to someone. Let's practice this difference, this spiritual consciousness we're seeking. Turn to someone, look them in the eyes, and say, it seems to me that we are different in this way. And then give some difference that you notice, and then say, and I celebrate the Christ in you. And then have them return it, and then find another partner. I want you to do this a couple of times. When you finished, find another partner. If you want to go out on a limb, find someone you don't know. And And when you've finished with this pairing, then go ahead and sit back down. Better hurry.
No, it's all right. That was a tough one.
Did you think you were going to get away? For me, there's no difference. We are one. We are the awakening children of God, becoming fully aware and present.
Amen.
Amen.
All right, let's wrap up and find our seats. Sounds like some beautiful discussions going on.
You were wonderful.
We're not quite done. Okay. Yep. All right. We'll make an agreement with the person you're with to continue the discussion after the service so we can wrap up. So a couple of responses of what that was like for you.
Wonderful. Awesome.
Wonderful.
Just my heart was tingling.
touched your heart, made it tingle?
First, it was hard because I was trying to think, okay, how are we different? That is not external, you know, or the external things were obvious, but even those, you know, they were kind
Yeah.
of trite, but
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's part of our work, is to see that there are physical differences, but no spiritual difference. Yes.
I found it interesting, like what other
Yeah.
So, you know, like, if I look in the mirror, I'm looking for everything that's wrong. You know, I'm just like, and, you know, I'm trying to fix things, but people get to see, like, your expression and when you're happy and when you're sad, and you don't get to see that.
Right.
Because you're just looking for everything that's wrong. So some of the things that people said about me, I'm like, really? Like, because I don't see that.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, oh, you have beautiful eyes, but I don't get to see my eyes. You know, I don't
Yeah.
get to look at them.
Beautiful. And isn't that a beautiful gift that we can give each other? Is to really see the beauty in each other. Yeah, Ethel.
was seeing the beauty in everybody. I forgot about the other part I was supposed to look at, because all I can see is beauty.
Beautiful.
Christine reminded me.
Yeah.
And I said, what's different about it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because for me it was about the word celebrating the difference, and maybe it's the social worker part in me, but in celebrating the differences, I could see the tapestry, like the weaving underneath that binds us together. And so from one of my challenges is, who do I lean on? Like who are the people I can go to? It's a question I live. So I realized that in celebrating the differences, I knew who I could call on for like wisdom, you know, or stillness in my heart, or the beautiful brains.
Yep.
And that was celebrating the Christ of them and how it appears in them that's different than how it would appear in me.
All right. Well said. So, yes, one more.
I'd like to thank everybody for having us here today. It's really a wonderful experience. I'd like to thank you for giving us that opportunity to get to know one another on a different level.
Yeah.
And I really thank you for setting the tone right from the start. You said, of course, for your belief in Christ in you, I translated God on me. However you look at it. But then you said this is like, we're all the same inside. And we started to look at the external differences, how that person is different than me. Maybe not wearing the same thing, or maybe just taller, shorter, darker, lighter, whatever. Like you said, it's just like, focus on the physical differences, which, but, uniting, in a different, deeper level where we're the same inside.
Absolutely.
Thank you again for giving us that practice.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I'm going to challenge you a little bit, because this is the space.
Gosh.
This is the space where we love each other,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, we do.
This is the easy work in this space. And if you're a little uncomfortable with it in this space, then practice. But the hard work is to step outside and do it with people that you run into in your daily life. So
That's a tough one.
so that's where the rubber meets the road. Yes, Claire.
For me, it is just the opposite. It's much easier outside to step up and say something really nice to somebody who feels lonely or sad. It's more difficult here.
Okay.
Because the intimacy need to make see. So my suggestion, coming from myself, is that when we have sang the last part of the song, the peace song, and then we hug each other, it would help me. And I would like to share that I can say to you, namaste, or I see the beauty in you. That we can take it a step farther, and where we work with this part that is so closed in. And open the door to ourselves and to our sisters and brothers, so we can step out of the box of
Yeah.
how we're supposed to behave.
Yeah.
Can I
So-
build on that?
So Claire's inviting anyone to hug her after the peace song.
I wonder if,
And I second that. I'd be happy to hug anyone.
I wonder, kind of going right along with that, Claire, is when we're doing our prayer for protection, instead of saying the light of God surrounds me, could we add to that afterwards, I am the light of God? Right, so when Melvin, when you put that up, what we would do is, hold on, let me just, so the light of God surrounds me, I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds me, I am the love of God. The power of God protects me, I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over me, I am the presence of God. So we can intune that to ourselves.
We say we and us. The light of God surrounds us. We could change it.
We can, yeah.
Then we could say I, we.
I don't know, I just took it off my.
We are,
my pocket.
yeah. We are the love of God.
Yeah, we are, yeah.
Yes, it's either.
All right.
Either way, we'll get it.
I'm glad this is generating so much discussion. This is beautiful. So just to wrap up, let's talk about what we can celebrate about difference. That's how the world was created, by divine mind. It's how we keep our physical bodies safe, so we don't run off a cliff. It's how we enjoy music and conversation. It's how we experience joy, love, health, knowing the difference. So fill in the blank. Yeah.
It's how we learn and how we grow strong. If you don't push beyond what you're capable of, you don't get strong
Yeah.
or smarter.
Yeah. Celebrating the difference between who we were and who we've become, who we grow into. So thank you all for
Thank you.